Monday.
Actually, for us, it's kind of a big deal. You probably wouldn't. Well, I'm sure you're still connected to our team stuff, but never look at it because, my God, why would you? But we did do some long overdue updating to Thurrott.com over the weekend, and I don't have a list yet of what it fixed exactly, but one of the things it fixed was an issue where non-premium readers would go to a premium article and couldn't see the images. So that got fixed. There's a bunch of back-end stuff that doesn't really impact anybody, but kind of hoping this might have, I mean, we'll see. We've had this kind of Cloudflare reliability, nonsense for a while. We'll see. We were still looking at that, but it seems to have gone very well.
Well, it is Monday morning. We'll see how well.
I know. I said I don't
knock
have
on
anything
some wood
to knock, or I don't have a chicken I can sacrifice. But
chicken wings for lunch could be the happy medium.
Yeah. So that was this weekend for me.
It is Monday. Nothing really happened this weekend. It was I don't know. Are you what? For All Mankind season 3 has dropped. I'm not gonna.
So what does that mean though? The whole season?
No.
Like,
they do the every Friday.
Can't do it. Nope, not doing that.
So I'll tell you what was a cheap shot though. Well, it's not even a cheap shot. It was fine. So Saturday, my wife and I, we sit down, we watch the show like always, whatever. And the Apple TV thing throws up like whatever stuff. And for whatever reason, my wife opened Amazon as we're sitting there. And Top Gun, not Top Gun 2, but the original Top Gun was just like top left corner. And my wife's like, that's so cheap of them. They're just trying to get people to watch this because Top Gun 2's in the theater.
Right.
And then we proceeded to watch it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we watched it recently as well, anticipating seeing the second one in the theater. Look, I grew up in the 80s.
Don't trash my fit. This is my movie. You can't.
Oh, it's the worst movie ever
I know.
made. Actually, it's the second worst movie. Sunless Fire is the worst movie ever made, but it is that movie is a shit show. It is awful. I know. I told you this, right? Did we discuss this?
We did.
There are 3 songs in the entire movie that play over and over again. You know what?
It's perfect, Paul. Well, throughout it's perfect for my
his
my smushy brain.
Maneuver is he puts on the brakes to go behind the guy that's chasing him.
Paul,
the most obvious strategy in a
You're the type of person who will go in and complain that Call of Duty is not real or it's too realistic as like Warzone. We have a parachute that you can deploy at any number of times throughout the thing. It's like, this is not real. Like if you watch Top Gun because you think it's a documentary, this isn't for you.
No, I don't. Look, I know it's a fantasy. It's just ridiculous. It's
what we all think the military is like. Like that's what, like when you're 9 years old, I want to be a fighter pilot.
It was used as a military recruiting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thing in the 80s. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of young drunken idiots got all excited and thought this is. Plus, the very notion of aerial warfare.
Dogfighting
30
is
years, well, at that point, 20 years after the United States was engaging in any form of aerial warfare. And those incidents that occurred in the movie in the Indian Ocean would have literally triggered World War III.
Yeah.
You can't actively engage with Russian fighter pilots. Like,
you can't blow them out of the sky.
No, you can't.
No.
You can't do that.
Well, and it glosses over the fact that dogfighting, like when you're that close, isn't a thing anymore. Like dogfighting is you are.
Well, it's the 80s. I mean, we were transitioning, to laser guided whatevers, and
like today though.
But it was also when this came out in '86 probably. So this is pre the wall coming down. This is Reagan, triggering great angst in the Soviet Union because he was so antagonistic. There was a real feeling that this imbecile was going to start a war. And like this kind of behavior at that time would have started a war.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, he would probably be court-martialed for what he did. Like, I don't know. Anyway, it's nonsense, but I know you love it. It's just, you can't, there's no point of, complaining or defending it. It's just, it is a thing of its time.
Yes.
And if you saw this as a child, if you did.
Oh, I saw it many times as a child.
So that it's just a childhood memory now.
Yeah.
Although I have revisited many things from my own childhood and found them lacking as an adult.
Oh, of
You know?
course. I mean, you don't have the rose, or you don't have like the childhood glasses where everything is just magical. I mean, it's like going to Disney World as an adult. It's not the same thing as when you're a kid.
Unless you're an idiot. But yeah, so but I've often observed of like some of my favorite movies, like, Star Wars or The Shining or something, whatever. Like, I wish you could do like a selective brain wipe and experience that movie again as if for the first time. I think that would be kind of a fascinating thing, but you can't. So,
I mean, I watched the very first Star Wars, whatever the first one was.
yep.
Oh God, how old was I? I was in my 30s. Like, this is recent, and it's terrible. Like, I would describe it the same way as you probably think of Top Gun right now. Like, like if you go watch that movie,
see, okay, that's interesting because having rewatched Star Wars many, many times, that's actually a movie that holds up.
see, I don't know. Like, I watched it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's like meh. Like, it reminds me of like The Princess Bride. Like, it's it's just
See, The Princess Bride holds up too.
The Princess
That's a
Bride
great
does hold
movie.
up very well. Probably offending like half of
No,
our.
like these are all subjective. It doesn't matter. Like, this is like arguing like Star Trek versus Star Wars, or
Yeah.
whatever these nonsense. Or people who like comic book movies, like really into the Marvel franchise. It's like, seriously, you're just going to the country buffet for every meal? Is that just the same stuff in a different mix?
Except that it keeps selling billions of dollars.
Yeah, no, I know. There's a lot of stupid people out there, but
If you're listening to this and we haven't offended you yet, stay tuned. We'll get there
no,
eventually.
but that's the point. Seriously, is just that this stuff is all for everyone like me who hates something. There's someone who loves that thing, and that's that's the way it is. I mean, it's just, the man Top Gun is a piece of crap. My wife and I were both horrified when we watched it. We were like, "Oh my god! Like, this is like."
Oh, it's a great cheesy movie. Like, that is
You can't even tell what's going on in the action sequences. This is
Oh, no,
planes
you really
flying.
can't.
Like,
Like,
planes and then another one goes. It's
you
like,
can
this is
tell
really
that they went
scary.
out to
You're like,
the
is it?
field.
What's going on?
They got a bunch of B-roll footage, and they're like, all right, how are we stringing this together as a movie?
Have you seen a new one?
No, I haven't. That's
So
why we watched like this one.
So this one has been widely regarded as a great movie, and that seems impossible to me. I will definitely see it in the theater. I want to see it on a big screen. I think we have I'm sure the effects are incredible. Tom Cruise, whatever anyone thinks of this guy, has done so many of his own stunts.
Yep.
In crazy stunts, that you have to be on some level impressed by that. So I'm sure it's technically amazing. We'll see. And I'm still going to see it. It's fine. Like, it's like my wife and I revel in bad movies. Like, we will purposely watch bad movies sometimes, just for that kind of it's so bad it's enjoyable kind of a thing.
I don't know. The new one's supposed to be good. That's all.
Yeah, I know. Right, you're right.
So we'll see. I don't know what else is going on. I haven't even looked at the.
And that's the problem. It's like this time of the year. I did a little thing about the end of the, Windows 8.1 is coming out of support in January. So it's kind of like the end of the Windows 8 era. But, two things to that. I mean, effectively speaking, Microsoft has stripped away a lot of the things that make Windows 8.1 kind of usable already, like OneDrive support, There's nobody using it. And I don't mean literally no one, because I know I'm going to hear from the 3 people that are. But, statistically, basically nobody. This is not like Windows 7 going away. In fact, notably, there is no plan for extended support. There's no expectation anyone will continue using this thing. So it seems like, Windows 8 was obviously a disaster. I count it as literally the worst release of Windows ever released, for multiple reasons. But the lasting impact of Windows 8, for all of the things that occurred, like the first Windows 8 update that brought, windowed apps back to the thing and Snap improvements, and then they finally brought back the Start menu, I think in Update 2 or whatever they were calling it. And Windows 10, of course, kind of furthering that step down to the desktop. But the thing they didn't reverse, and it's semi-understandable, is the app platform. They still had this Frankenstein monster thing bolted onto the top of it that's a mobile platform. So it's a really unsophisticated, compared to iOS, Android, mobile platform that runs on top of Windows. They belatedly made it the same as Windows Phone, which is the thing they should have done in 2010-11. And that was too late. So, Phone failed. Didn't matter. And we still have that app platform today. They called it multiple names, but it's sort of a desktop platform now with the Windows App SDK, but it's not really a desktop platform. It's still that mobile thing from before. It's sophisticated in certain ways with regards to battery management and that kind of thing, but it's horribly unsophisticated with regards to the types of user experiences that people would expect from a desktop application.
Are you saying that Charms Bar did not solve?
It didn't. It's not a winner, is what I'm saying. So it's. I don't know. I feel like, unfortunately, and if you look at Windows 11, Windows 11 is a nice little regression back to the thinking behind Windows 8. This thing is simpler. It looks more like a mobile OS. It's got everything centered like it is on a phone. I don't know. Like I feel like Windows and PCs are a very specific thing. And I know that no one at Microsoft has the stomach for or can justify the creation of a new desktop app platform. But if you go to whatever it is, developer.microsoft.com or wherever this stuff is now, and you look at the 30,000 different ways you can create apps that sort of run on Windows, there's no answer. There's no like, this is it. It's not like when Longhorn was coming and it's like WPF, WCF, WWF, or WWC, whatever. Or WWF, I guess. WF, they couldn't call it WWF. Whatever those things were called. Avalon, Indigo, etc. Windows was the center of the world, and then it wasn't, and that was the end of it. Like they're never going to do a WPF modern version ever. And there was this moment in time, Brad. It was like right on the edge. The guys from Windows Phone adopted Silverlight, which was the today we would call the .NET Core version of WPF. It was WPF/E everywhere, and it was .NET based managed code. That should have been what went into Windows 8, and then it would have just been another thing you could do on top of whatever else. But they didn't do that.
Okay. And instead, we're here.
Yep, I think that Windows 8 is the reason that .NET got open sourced. Not the only reason, but I mean, I think the Windows team, the core team at Microsoft, dropping .NET from their developer story caused those. I bet that caused a little bit of like, geez, how do we go forward now? I bet that played a key role. I'm not saying it was the reason. I'm sure Rich Campbell could chime in on this. I'll ask him when I see him. But I bet that had a big part to do with it.
It could have got the ball rolling for sure. I mean, it's definitely.
Well, that whatever year that was, they did the build, or actually there was still PDC, I bet. They didn't mention .NET almost at all. Like they mentioned it once in passing. The whole developer platform, this WinRT thing, this UWP thing we call it today, it's not based on .NET. It was something new. Like they created it from scratch. Like what are you doing?
Well, at least the history has proven out that
that strategy made sense. Yeah. Oh God, this is what we deal with.